Howdy folks, it's Turtle here and welcome back to Minecraft. We are just hanging out with my Ender friend today. We're not on Attorney SMP. As you can tell by the title of the video, you already know what's going on. That's why I clicked on the video. We are in my own personal creative world. I use this world for testing textures and mods and builds before I build them in Eternia or do anything else in Eternia. We're going to head over to the piano now. That's why you clicked on it, but I just also wanted to have a look at why this is so dark. I've had the same version of Minecraft with the same mods and the same everything, same settings for years now, and I don't remember it being this dark. But this is terrible. I can't see anything. Maybe it's just my eyes, but I could not play like this if this were something I was playing. So I don't know what's going on. Nothing's changed, like I said, except I'm a little older, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I want to show you how beautiful my test world is, because every time I start the plane, every time I start a test world, it's always like the best seed, most beautiful seed ever. I just love it so much I wanted to share it with you all. But let's get on point. Let's stay on task. Yes, this is where I tested the frog lights long ago. My textures for all chests and bricks long ago. This is years ago I did this stuff. And more textures. Look at that one. I did all the woods. I think we have new woods now that I don't even have in here. Oh my gosh, like bamboo stuff? I don't even have bamboo in here. Anyway, I built a piano. Look, there it is. I built a piano. It plays. It's a grand piano. It looks like my piano in real life. If you have not seen my piano in real life, go to my music channel, my piano channel. Link in the description below. And check out my piano. It's gorgeous. I love it so much. It sounds good and plays well too. Not just about the looks. Anyway, built the piano, but it plays. I've been wanting to do this ever since I started Minecraft. I just haven't, but I figured out a way to do it, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm just thinking if there's anything I want to say. I did not rehearse this or anything, and I don't have much time. I just had to create a moment I wanted to show you. So let's go first person. Let me show you what this is all about, because you're going to wonder, why are there buttons and why are they in different places? Why is that one there? Why are there only 11? I'll explain all of that. First of all, the reason why the buttons are here is because if you put the buttons next to each other, they'll play both notes. So here we have a note, and here we have a note. If I put this button here, it'll play both at the same time. If I bring the black keys down, it'll play both at the same time. So I have to have them staggered. They're staggered both in levels and horizontally, vertically and horizontally. This I couldn't stagger vertically, so I had to stagger horizontally. Now, if we do use pressure plates, you can have them all in a row and you just walk on them and they only hit the note you want them to. But buttons will affect a bunch more than that. And I didn't want to do it like big style with Tom Hanks where you have to jump on the notes. I wanted to actually be able to play the notes. So that's why we're doing buttons instead of pressure plates. Also, at least the blackstone buttons fit in. I could actually change all that to blackstone, couldn't I? It would probably look a lot better. Anyway, we'll see. So they fit in. I could do stone keys. I tried. It looks ugly. In fact, after this, I'm going to show you different key materials I've thought of, like harpsichord, keyboard, things like that. But we're going to look at this piano first. And yes, I know there's a thing over to the side. It's an electric piano, and you'll see why in a minute. So why do we only have 11? Well, I'm not going to tell you that yet. How did this work? It's so dang simple. It's just I got my buttons. Underneath the block is redstone, and next to it is no block. And then I pitched them. If you bring up your debug screen, where's my debug screen? There we go. You can't see it now. Actually, let me show you. Let me go in and show you. Let me destroy one. There you go. There's no block right there. If you bring up the debug screen, see where I'm highlighting right now, it says 6. It tells you the note you're doing. That's how you know. And there's a chart on the wiki for Minecraft if you want to know what the pitches are, so you have the exact pitches. I started with C, went up to B, 11 notes. I'll explain why 11 again in a minute. But anyway, it's super simple. It's just down 1 and over, there's your block. Up here it's down 1 and over, there's your block. This one is just down 1 and over, there's your block. Super simple. I did this all by myself, by the way. No tutorial, nothing. I figured it all out by myself. It's not that hard. However, there's a fun little thing that is a little more difficult. But we'll worry about that later. So first of all, let's play the piano now. And then I'll talk about why there's only 11 notes. And here we go. What was I going to play? I was going to play something. Oh yeah, I better turn this up in editing so you can hear it. Nice retardando at the end, right? Like any good musician who can phrase on a Minecraft piano. But that's not all. You see there's a little digital component to this. And you flip that over, flip it back, and what do we have now? Let's see if we remember how to play this. I didn't practice it. I should have, but let's see how this goes. Yes, take two. That's why I'm in a different spot. Let's try it again. Oh, isn't that interesting? And then we come over here, we get confirmation of the piano sound. And then we're back to a piano. So what did I do? I had some fun with it. I couldn't just build a working piano. No, that's boring. I had to make it different sounds. So it has a banjo sound. So all I did is I put, under the blocks, I put grass, hay, grass, hay, grass, hay, grass, hay. And then there's just a piston under here that pushes it over. Gotta move the piston back. Because over here there's another piston that puts it back. And then you get piano again. I had to do it 3 rows. I had to do this row, and a row for this. for that one. But there you go. And it's super simple, but that's why there's only 11 notes. Why? Because when you have your 11 things of material, hay and dirt, plus room to push it back, it only pushes 12 things. A piston will only push 12 things. Something like that. So I had to limit it to 11 notes. If I could get another 12th note in here, I would, but I have a gap thing to move it back and forth. So, or both ways. So there you go. The 12th note is air. Or it becomes air, whatever. You get the idea. So I can only do 11 notes because of 12 blocks. Max with the pistons. That's why there's 11 notes. That's why it's buttons instead of pressure plates, because I don't want to jump across those notes. I want to play them. And that's why we have 1 note down here. So there you go. I explained it all. Very, 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 very simple. I came up with it all by myself. I'm super proud of it. I just gave some decoration. And the only thing that would change, because this is a prototype, is if I put this in context into a build, hint, hint, I would expand the keyboard quite a bit. But you would only have 11 playable notes in the middle, which is totally fine. Now, what about material? Because we can't have, like, white concrete buttons or quartz buttons. The black is okay. If I use black stone, it might look even better. But there is really no way to hide the buttons for the white keys unless I maybe do like a harpsichord configuration, for example, where you flip-flop the colors, right? So you have black, white keys, and then brown or wooden, whatchamacallit, black keys? That's one idea. I'll show you that in a second. Another idea is to make the white keys stone, which I tried. It was so ugly, I'm not even going to show you. So, yeah, so let's go through some of those other prototype options right now super fast. So here we are with the black stone black keys. I don't really like it. I left the concrete here to compare. I mean, again, it just depends on the context, I guess, that I would put this build in. From far away, it actually does look better, doesn't it? From far away. It looks much better from far away. But as you get closer, I don't know. I like this better. Let me show you a stone white keys. It's terrible, but I might as well show you. Because the point is that it hides all the buttons, right? So there we are with stone keys. It looks terrible. But again, in the right context, maybe if you come across like some archaeological dig or something, then the stone would be okay. But it hides the buttons really well, but don't the black keys look like filing cabinets now? They look like filing cabinets from a horror film. So white keys for sure, white concrete anyway. Some people use quartz, and they make like pianos on Minecraft, which if you look up random photos and stuff, they'll use quartz, which probably actually will look good. But you have to keep in mind too, when you're building pianos, that the white keys in real life split at the black key. So many people just have straight black lines and straight white lines, but you gotta remember it's double in here because these white keys come around and split down there. So anyway, let's put some quartz and see how that works, I guess, with the filing cabinet black. No. I tried 2 different kinds of quartz. I tried smooth and a block of quartz. And no, with the chiseled edges, it looks just terrible, especially with these buttons, which I don't even have them the right way here. So yeah, it's just looking worse and worse, isn't it? It's just looking worse and worse as I try different things. But again, in the right context, maybe like if you're looking at it from up here, something, now it does look better to have the quartz and the black stone. If you're looking from afar, I just wish they made like a quartz button, which they don't. So I don't know. It's actually kind of growing on me. Up close though, when you're going to play it, up close, it looks terrible. Of course, what I could do in my own texture pack is take a very rarely used button texture or something. And then, oh, that wouldn't work. I'm like, I could change like one of these to like just plain white so they hide. But the problem is, this comes from something else. So I'd have to change the fundamental texture. It would change all the wood. So yeah, so because I was thinking maybe if I make this pure white, boom. Or I could take another texture, like I could just go through here and see something that's super, super obscure and just make it a plain white square, just for the sake of my piano. But then if anybody else uses my texture pack, they're going to be like, what is going on? Or I could do, oh, knowing what I could do, use that plain white texture that's obscure, throw it in my kids painting texture pack, which I don't share with people. Then, that way, I could use it. I could even take a painting and make it pure white. Ooh, that, okay, so I have options, but I'd have to do weird workarounds with textures, which I don't like to. I do use my own texture packs that I've made, but I like to keep them as original as possible. But maybe for something like this, I could do, not a painting, it would have to be something that interacts with redstone. I could do something obscure that interacts with redstone and make it like clear, like a clear texture, and then it would look like I'm playing the keys, right? Anyway, what have we learned so far? The original is probably the best. Second best would be blackstone, far away. Third best, blackstone with quartz, but again, far away. But I can hide the buttons better if I do a harpsichord type keyboard, so let's do that super fast. And there you go. So we've got wooden, sharps and flats, and then black keys like harpsichord or clavichord or anything from that era. I don't know. I was hoping it would hide the buttons better. It hides the buttons over on this half, but it just, you can see all the lines, all the pattern. I don't like it at all. It's not what I thought it would be. That being said, whoops, let's do the right point of view here. That being said, again, far away context, it doesn't look too bad. So anywho, there you go. That's going to do it for us. I showed you the piano I built. We have some friends. Like I said, I will be using it in context. I do have a plan for it. So we'll see what I decide to do with it. I'm not probably going to build an entire piano shape, even though it's fun to do that. I just want to focus on the mechanics of the keyboard and moving the keyboard underneath back and forth so that I can have different sounds. And it worked out exactly how I wanted to, except for the single buttons we have right here that I can't do anything with. But anyway, look for another video soon where I have it in context of something else. And that's all I got to say. I'm kind of enjoying making this video. I don't want it to end, because who knows when I can make a video again. It might be a long time before I can make another video. So we'll see when it happens. Make sure you like, subscribe, notifications turned on, etc., etc. And looks like we're going to have a concert here. See you guys later.